we're building a competitive team from scratch here. Technically not from scratch because we already have the Pokemon. So I guess step 1 is pick your team. You gotta figure out. The video today isn't like, here's how you decide your EVs, your natures, your team. It's how to get this team ready for competitive. Also, these held items are wrong. So we're gonna go with Eliki. We're gonna go with Blastoise. We're gonna go with Clefairy. We're gonna go with Zarina. I'll explain why. We're gonna go with Incineroar, and then we're gonna go with Garchomp. These are the Pokemon. We haven't done moves yet. We haven't done EVs yet. We haven't done IVs yet. We're gonna cover all of that. But specifically, because the Garchomp is the newest member on the team, we're gonna start with step 1, which is if you move a Pokemon from a different game, specifically Let's Go, or Sun and Moon, or in this case, Pokemon Go, we're gonna talk to this guy first before we do anything with that Pokemon. I guess technically I leveled it up. And we're gonna tell him that we got this Garchomp from Pokemon Go, and that it will be used in ranked battles, and he's going to delete every move. So don't do what I do, which is teach your Garchomp a bunch of moves, and then go, oh, I forgot to talk to this guy, because he's going to delete all those moves anyways. So this is step 1. And then you want what is called the Battle Ready mark. It's the little thing next to the G. So this Incineroar is from Sun and Moon, has the Battle Ready mark. You can see the Sun and Moon. This Zarina, also from Sun and Moon. Clefairy is from Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. Blastoise also from Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. And Regieleki from Heart Gold, Soul Silver. That's not true. This Regieleki is from Sword and Shield. So if it has the Sword and Shield icon right here, you don't need the Battle Ready mark. But a lot of these Pokemon are obviously from different games. So very important to do the Battle Ready mark first. Do they keep the mark for good? Yes, they do keep the mark permanently once you do it. Number 2, and I always do this number 2 before I forget, is to give it Dynamax Candy. You can give, even if you don't ever plan on your Pokemon Dynamaxing, just give it the 10 Dynamax Candy. So I'll just show you real quick what it looks like before that. No Dynamax level. This Incineroar has max Dynamax level, so we're just gonna give it the Dynamax Candy. You don't wanna be like, oh boy, I need to Dynamax my Incineroar and then forget to give it candy. So always do your candy. That's gonna be step 2. Boom, we got the Dynamax Candy. All right. So before we get to EVs, IVs, all that stuff, we're going to go through abilities. At this point, the Battle Ready mark, very important to do. You can do the Dynamax Candy at any point. But I like to do...
Step 1 and 2 was subscribe and like Esteves YouTube.
Step 1, like and subscribe. Okay. You can do this in any order, but since I'm already in the Battle Tower, we're going to go through all the abilities. Pick whichever abilities you think is best. For Eliki, obviously it's Transistor. We're going to do Torrent for Blastoise instead of Rain Dish. We're not running a Rain team. Friend Guard is the main reason why you're running Clefairy. Queenly Majesty is a signature ability for Zarina, so we're keeping that. Intimidate is what we want for Incineroar. He's our Intimidator. And then we want Rough Skin instead of Sandveld for Garchomp. Now that is a hidden ability. Ability Patch. So Ability Patch will let us get the hidden ability, which is called the Rare Ability. And now it should have Rough Skin. Perfect. So abilities are done. So check all your abilities. That was number 3 or 4. I don't know what we're on. What item changed the ability on Garchomp? Ability Patch. So you get the ability patches from the Crown Tundra with the Dynite Ore. Now that we've gotten the Dynamax level correct, the abilities correct, we're going to move on to the next step, which is moves. Again, this doesn't really have to be a specific order. All right, so for Eliki, we're going to do Rising Voltage, Electro Web, Hyper Beam, and Protect. All right, so we need a move, tutor move. So we're going to go to this guy. He wants Armorite Ore. We want the Rising Voltage for Eliki. And we want that instead of Thunderbolt. So we're going to do Rising Voltage, Electro Web, Hyper Beam, and Protect on this Eliki. I'm not saying that this is the best moveset for Eliki. I think I'm saying this is the moveset I want for my team. So again, this video for YouTube isn't going to be like, this team is perfect. And then for Blastoise, we want actually the same exact moveset, I believe. Water Spout, Blizzard, Scald, and Shell Smash. For Clefairy, we want Moonblast, Follow Me, Helping Hand, Protect. So that stays the same. When we get to Zarina, we are going to do Triple Axle, Power Whip, High Jump Kick, and Helping Hand. So I believe triple axle is a new type of move here. So I believe we actually have to talk to this dude again. So we got Rising Voltage, Electro Web, Hyper Beam Protect, Water Spout, Scald, Blizzard, Shell Smash, Standard, Not Standard, Standard, and Pretty Standard. So moves are done. Natures are going to be next, so we're going to use just the mints in order to do that. So the cool thing about the mints, if you didn't know this, is if it's already that nature, it's not going to use it. So we want Timid Blastoise, so if we use Timid on Blastoise, it will say it won't have any effect, which means it's already timid, which is nice, because then you don't have to go back and forth and look. We want Bold for Clefairy. I don't remember if this one's bold or not. Well, it wasn't, so it's bold now. Modest for Eliki. Adamant for Zarina. We want Careful for Incineroar. Our Incineroar should be careful, but we'll see here. Yep, it already is. And then we want Jolly for Garchomp. So natures are done. Okay, so now we are going to do IVs, which is handled through bottle caps or through breeding. You can see that anytime it says hyper trained, that means we used a bottle cap. Best would be best. Hyper trained would be the rest. I didn't mean that to rhyme. That was very corny. These are all hyper trained / bred in a specific way, except for the Garchomp. The Garchomp we just transferred from Pogo. So we are going to bottle cap that. We're just going to use a golden bottle cap. Usually you would not want to, like if this was a special attacker, you would want the attack to be like no good or bad. So you don't get hit by confusion damage or foul play. But with Garchomp, you want the attack to be best. So the special attack doesn't really matter too much. I don't want to waste 5 bottle caps. I'm just going to golden bottle cap it. If this was an actual tournament, I might do a little more specific, but this is just ladder stuff, so it's not super serious. So we're going to talk to this guy. We're going to say we want the Garchomp. Select. Golden bottle cap. All the stats. We'll never use the special attack stat, but it's fine. Whatever. Not the end of the world. Now, when we check this Garchomp, we are all hyper trained. All right, I should maybe explain like why I go to these islands every stream. These islands are really good for competitive. So every day, these 3 little islands, they have these feathers, and they're scattered all the way around the island. In a competitive sense, you are getting into competitive, or you're thinking about it. These feathers make things really nice to tweak your EVs, which we'll go over later. But it's like a daily thing you can do if you're still playing Sword and Shield every day. Or every now and then. You just pick up all these feathers. There are feathers on the bridge by the daycare. But you don't get as many. Like, look at this. This is non-stop. So many of them. And we'll go over feathers when we get to the EV training part of the team building. Super easy to collect. Okay, for EVs, we're going to start here, which is on the Isle of Armor. This lady here is called Madam Clear, I think. So our EV spreads are wrong on a couple of these Pokemon, specifically Zarina. So Zarina has max HP, max attack. This is from when I bred and created her for a Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon tournament. Don't need those anymore. So if we talk to this girl right here, she will... Madam Cleanse, I think her name is. She'll take 10 Armorite ore, and then she will cleanse out the EVs. There's another way to do this that I will show you. And then she cleans everything. Lady Clear, that's her name, Lady Clear. So now if we go back into our Zarina, so now we can start fresh with her. The other way to do this is with berries. So if we go to Eliki real quick, Eliki is max special attack, which I think I want to keep, yes. And then I want to do max speed. So we have some EV investment in defense. We want to get rid of that. So what we can do is we can go into our bag, and we can go into our berries, and there should be a berry that lowers special... Was it defense or special defense? I think it was defense. So the Qualot Berry will lower defense. So we're going to use the Qualot Berry, and it should drop it by 10. I don't remember how much investment I put into defense. It might have been about 50. So I'm just going to do one at a time. And then it will eventually tell you that its stats cannot drop anymore. Oh, you know, I think I did exactly 100 for my XDL battle. So it says it won't have any effect. Perfect. And then we can do that with everything else. We can go attack. Its attack stat fell, won't have any effect. We can do that with HP. HP fell, won't have any effect. But we want special attack to stay max. Special defense, won't have any effect. And then speed, we want to max too. So now if we go back to Eliki, sometimes it's easier just to clear it and start over. But in this case, we have, so now the line is no longer blue, it's yellow. We have max special attack. So now we want it to have max speed. And we can do that real quick. We can actually finish Eliki off to be our first one. So we can just do this with vitamins real quick. Everything's real quick. I think vitamins is Carbos. And it will actually limit us. So we can't go above 11. So 11 is max. They should be sparkly in 2 places now. Awesome. Max speed, max special attack. And now it's not blue. When it's blue, it means we're finalized. So we are going to finalize it in blue with 4 in special defense. I'm just going to use the feathers for that. The feathers we picked up earlier. And there's this weird leftover of 2. So technically 4 is all you need. But there's this weird leftover of 2. So we're just going to do the 6. And finally, Eliki should be blue and should be good to go. Ta-da! All EV trained. So for spreads now, we have no spreads on Incineroar. We have no spreads on Garchomp. No spreads on Zarina. Jade the Clefairy, she is done. Key Lime is not done, but halfway done. And then Reggie Eliki is done. At least my spreads right now, we are going to be running max speed Zarina, max speed Garchomp, and not max speed Blastoise. But those are 3 Pokemon that need a lot of speed investment. So before we do that, I'm going to show you guys the old-fashioned way of getting EVs. Blastoise needs 232 in speed, 252 in special attack, and then 12 in HP, 4 in defense, and 4 in special defense. Not going to talk about today how I got those numbers, but we are going to just do the small part here. So for health, we need 12, like I said. And then for defense, we need 4. And then for special defense, we need 4. So that means that now that we've given it 12, 4, 4, and 252, that means the last stat can only get 236. So we can now train Blastoise with Garchomp and Zarina, both who need max speed, and then Blastoise will get the 236. And then we don't have to worry about using Carbos. Although we could use Carbos, but I'm low on Carbos. So we're going to save some money by doing 3 Pokemon at once. We're going to EV train the old-fashioned way here. We're going to train in speed, which means we can knock out Rookies on Route 1 to get speed EVs. But we're going to do it on 3 Pokemon. We're going to do it on Zarina, who has no EV investment. Blastoise, who only needs investment in speed. So Zarina and Garchomp need max speed. We're just going to... The Eliki is already completely maxed out in all stats, but we're just going to use Eliki to knock out the Rookidee. So that's fine. We're just going to use Eliki to knock out with an electric type move. So Eliki will just lead. Everyone else will get EVs. The Braverary is on the team because the Braverary has Pokerus. You can tell that it has Pokerus because it has this little pink symbol with the arrow with lines through it. Now, other Pokemon, so Garchomp doesn't have Pokerus. Key Lime doesn't have Pokerus. Zarina had Pokerus, so that's why it's missing the lines. So it did have Pokerus, but it faded away. So it still gets the benefits of Pokerus, but it can't spread it. Eliki doesn't have Pokerus, but it doesn't need it because it's already EV trained. And this Yamper used to have it, but it also faded away. So the reason the Braverary is here is to spread the Pokerus to the Garchomp. And the Garchomp will probably spread it to the Blastoise, and the Blastoise will probably spread it to the Eliki, which is fine. We don't really care about that. But you don't need Pokerus. It just speeds up the process. So this Bravery, after a couple battles, will spread it. We'll check back in on that. And then the other way to increase the amount of EVs we get, the old-fashioned way, is by going into our items. So yeah, it fades if you don't. So as long as you put the Poké-Risk Pokemon in your box at night, it won't fade away, and then it stays. But if you leave it in your party in the game overnight, then it will fade. So in order to speed up the process on Zarina, Blastoise, and Garchomp, the 3 Pokemon we're EV training in speed, we're going to be attaching the Power Anklet to these 3 Pokemon. And then we'll remove them when we're done training. But think of these power bands, well, this one's the power band. Think of these power items as your Pokemon going to the gym. They will help EV train the old-fashioned way if you want to save money, or if you want a shiny hunt. So the reason we're bringing Yamper is because if we find a shiny Rookidee, we want Yamper's ball fetch ability to get a Pokeball back. So let's say we find a shiny Rookidee, I want to throw a Dream Ball at it, the Dream Ball breaks out, Yamper gets the Dream Ball back, we don't waste it. So anytime I shiny hunt, I always bring Yamper. So we're doing 2 things. We're shiny hunting Rookidee, and we're going to max out the speed stat on Zarina, Blastoise, and Garchomp. It'd be really funny if that first Rookidee was shiny, but it's not.
A few moments later.
Oh, what? No way! Ah, this is... Oh my gosh! It's like, you can EV trade and shiny hunt at the same time, and you gotta make sure you bring the Yamper in case you do run into a Rookidee.
Why?
Oh my god. Yeah, we just got a shiny. The amount of times I've done this tutorial for people, and I'm like, okay, well, I know you can use the vitamins, and that's cool, and it's quicker, but look at how easy it is just to knock out 15 Pokemon, because then you can max the speed, and you can save a bunch of money on vitamins. And I was like, and you always want to bring the Yamper along, just in case you get the shiny, because, you know, if you want to throw a Heavy Ball and it fails, the Yamper will pick it back up. Lure Ball, I'm not using a Lure Ball. Espeon, and you can get Espeon Safari Ball not in this game. I'll do Heavy. Yeah, Frostmoth and Safari Ball actually sounds pretty rad. Blastoise is done, by the way. So Blastoise, Blastoise is done. It's blue. Blue, when the line turns blue, like I said earlier, it means it's fully done. So it's fully EV trained in speed. And special, not full in speed. It's almost max speed, but max special attack. And then when it's yellow like this, it means it can still earn EVs, but Blastoise is done and Eliki is done because they're max. So we still need to work on Garchomp and Zarina, so we'll do that next. Okay, we are now going to just use vitamins on Incineroar, which is probably the fastest way. You can see this Incineroar, we used Madam Clear to clear it out. So we are just going to do the whole spread via vitamins. If you're doing something like 252, it's really easy to do the method we did earlier. But Incineroar is real weird in its spreads. My spread is pretty normal, maybe slightly different, but we're going to start off with speed, which is 36. So we're going to do 3 Carbos because that's 30. And then I like to do the feathers right away so I don't mess anything up. So that would be 30. So we did the 3 for 30 because each of those are 10 and then feathers are 1. So we're going to do 6 Swift Feathers. So that's a 36 in speed. And then we're going to do special defense next, which its special defense should be 150. So we're going to do 15. 156, sorry. And then we're going to do 6. Perfect. Then its defense is 68. So we're going to do 60. So 6 iron. And then 8 feathers in defense. There it is. And then it's going to be 4 in attack. So we just use the muscle feather. And then finally, it should be 244 in HP. And since HP is the last stat, it should, if we do this right, say 25 in HP. Perfect. It can't go to 26. If we did it all right, Incineroar should be blue. And it's done. There you go. EV trained Incineroar. So that should be 254 HP, 244 HP, 4 attack, 68 defense, 156 special defense, and 36 speed. These different naming schemes, I know. Okay, so final thing we have to do now is give our Pokemon held items. I gotta remember what we decided here. So we're gonna do... we're gonna do Lumberry on Garchomp. Mystic Water on... Mystic Water 2 casual? IUC Incense? Alright. We'll spice it up. You're right. Our Blastoise deserves something way fancier than Mystic Water. We will slap on the C Incense. There you go. Alright, so now we have a team, and that's how you do it. We have a team. We have our Elekey, our Blastoise, our Clefairy, our Incineroar, our Garchomp, and our Zarina. And I think everyone is actually shiny on this team. That was not really intentional, except for the Elekey, because I was too lazy to shiny hunt it. But I technically shiny hunted the Zarina and the Incineroar back in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. The Eevee.
Welcome back.
The Clefairy and the Blastoise were from Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. The Garchomp was from Pokemon Go. So none of these Pokemon were actually from Sword and Shield. Why are you using Clefairy over Clefable? Because Clefairy is significantly better than Clefable. Clefairy's ability is why you use it. Clefairy gets the ability Friend Guard, and Clefable does not get that same ability. So that's the reason is Friend Guard. Thanks for watching. Here is the team that you can rent and use on ladder if you want. I didn't go into the team too detailed in the video because the video was mostly just like an overview on how you can break down competitive and how you can get into it, because there's a couple steps in order to get your team competitively ready. So obviously I didn't want to focus on one team because I wanted to give you guys the tools to apply to different teams. But start off picking your 6 Pokemon, your moves, your EVs, and then do the steps I follow, and you can get from 0 to 100 and be able to get onto the ladder. If you have questions about team building or questions about maybe what moves you should have or how this team works specifically, or maybe a question about maybe a Pokemon on your team, you can leave a comment below, or you can join us over on Twitch, where I built this entire team on Twitch. People ask questions, obviously you saw in the video, but if you have more specific questions, feel free to let me know. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like and subscribe. I will see you guys next time, and if you do end up using the team, let me know how you like it. I would love to hear your feedback. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.